Hey guys, this is Nicole Roberts from timandnicoleroberts.com. I wanted to share with you guys today my mama's French bread recipe. I'm making it right now. You can see my KitchenAid's kneading the dough for me, which I absolutely love. I don't think I would actually make bread if I had to do this part myself. But I'm going to show you real quick my recipe right here. I put 6 cups of flour in the KitchenAid, and then just in a liquid measuring cup, I use a 4-cup one so that it will all fit. I put 2.5 cups of warm water, then I put in the 2 tablespoons of yeast, then I add the sugar, the salt, and the oil. You can see there, I let it sit for just about a minute so that the yeast activates. You want to make sure your water is not too hot because you don't want to kill it, and not too cold because then it won't work. So you want a nice middle ground of warm water. Then I add the liquid mixture to the flour mixture. Did I say that there's 6 cups of flour? I think I did. And then I let it mix for 5 minutes, and that's what it's doing right now, is it's just kneading that bread dough for 5 minutes. There's my timer. So I can go ahead and turn it off now. And I'm going to go ahead and lift it up. It's all stuck to my KitchenAid there, and it's kind of sticky. I mean, you can see the consistency there is a little sticky. So I am going to pull it off. You could probably just leave it on there, but this is just my preference. I like to get it all down in the bottom so I can really see how much is in there. So this recipe makes 2 loaves of French bread. You can see that my KitchenAid bowl is about halfway full. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it sit here. I'm going to put this back down. I'm going to let it sit there until it has risen to double its size. So I want it to be about right here, about an inch, maybe an 1.5 inches from the top of my bowl. And that should probably take me about maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Once it gets to that point, then I'm going to punch it back down. So you let it rise up, then you punch it back down, and I'm going to, at that point, pull it out and break it into 2 pieces and shape my loaf. So I will be back in just a minute to show you guys the next step. All right, you guys, it has been just over 20 minutes, and you can see our bread dough has risen about double. And like I said, yeah, I put the timer on for about 15. I didn't feel quite good about it yet, so I did another 5 minutes after that. And yeah, so a little over 20 minutes, and it's looking awesome. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to turn it back on, kind of punch it down. You can see that it's just going back down to not much of anything, and I got it all over my hook here, my dough hook. That's what this is called. Is on the KitchenAid. It comes with quite a few different attachments, and this is your dough hook that you'll be using. Okay, look how sticky and gooey that is. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to really be able to hold the camera the whole time I'm doing this. So I'll just show you guys really quick what I'm going to do, and then I'll come back and show you the end result here in a minute. Okay, so you can see I'm just going to push that right back down. I'm going to kind of form it into a ball, and then I'm going to spray my hands with a little bit of olive oil, or you can put a little bit of flour on your hands if you want to, just so it doesn't stick to your hands the whole time because it is a little sticky. So I'm going to form it into a ball, and then I'm going to pinch it off into 2 pieces that are equal pieces. Then I'm going to form that into 2 French bread loaves, and I'll be back in just a minute to show you guys when we get to that point. Okay, I separated my bread into 2 sections. This one looks a little bit bigger than this one, but I'm not going to worry about it at this point. I shaped them into 2 French bread looking loaves, and you can see here I'm actually using, it's a Pampered Chef stoneware bar pan, I believe. And I just like it because it's easy, because I can just throw 2 on. They will end up kind of sticking together a little bit, but I don't really care about that. If you want it to be a little more aesthetically pleasing, you may want to use 2 different pans, but I don't really care. The stoneware, some people think it looks kind of gross and disgusting, but anyone who knows stoneware knows the darker and grosser, honestly, that it looks, the better of a pan it is, because it's more well seasoned. So this is a pretty decent pan at this point, and it just bakes the bread really, really well. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come through with a knife and just put some little cuts in it. And I like to do 7 just because I really like that number. There we go, 7 little lines in there. And then when it rises, those will kind of pop open a little bit and it will look really pretty. And then when you're done, you can, when they're done baking, you can put some butter on the top of it and it will just look really nice and really pretty. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these sit and I'm going to let them rise again until they're double again. So again, about 15-20 minutes or so. And then I'm going to come back over here to my recipe. It says right there, bake at 350 for 27 to 30 minutes. So I'm going to bake them for 27 minutes. That's kind of the magic number for my oven. So you kind of have to play around with it to see how long it needs in your oven. So I'm going to let them rise and I'll show you guys what it looks like really quick right before I put it in the oven. And then I'll show you again when they're done. All right, you can see that my bread here has nearly doubled in size. It's looking pretty good. So I am going to pop it in my oven. Roman, keep your sister back, please. Okay, there we go. And now my kids are trying to wrestle each other, so I will be back when the bread's done and my kids are hopefully safe by then. All right, our trophy is finished. Our beautiful big loaves of French bread just came out of the oven. They're nice golden brown and they did stick together like I told you guys they probably would. We think it kind of looks like a little bum, or a big bum rather. But we're just going to pull those apart and they will be good to go. And super delicious. We have some delicious peach freezer jam that we made with fresh peaches just a couple weeks ago that will be super delicious on this bread. I wanted to quickly tell you guys the ingredients that I like. I like to use this Bob's Red Mill unbleached white flour. Bleached flour is so bad for you. They use chemicals to bleach it to get it to be white, and it makes it carcinogenic, which means cancer causing. Also, you want to look for unbromated flour. When flour, actually just learned this the other day, when they bromate the flour, they put another chemical on your wheat so that it makes your bread more elastic, but again, it's also a carcinogen and it makes your bread not as good for your body. So I like this flour because it's still white flour, so it still gives you that light, fluffy, tasty bread that we all crave, but it's better for your body and for your family. I also, you know, the recipe I showed you guys before called for 2 tablespoons of sugar. I like to use, I think it's called Morena or Moreno. It's in a green bag. Sorry, you can hear my crazy kids in the background. But it is an unrefined cane sugar, and I found that at Walmart for only about $2.50 or something like that for a bag, so it's really reasonably priced. And then for my oil, I like to use olive oil. And then for my salt, I use real salt. My yeast, I've tried a couple different kinds. I haven't really noticed that one's better than the other at this point, so just whatever yeast you have on hand should work. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video where I showed you guys how to make my mama's homemade French bread. And I hope you guys try it yourself and have good results. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you want to blog about the things that you love and the things you enjoy in your life, but you want to make money doing it, go to unleashedmom.com for more information. Have a great one, guys. We'll talk soon. Bye.